Hi, this is Al Thora, Executive Director for the Indiana Mortgage Bankers Association. And today I'm happy to have with me Maureen Bauer, who is the Senior Account Manager for Arch Mortgage Insurance covering the state of Indiana. And thank you, Mo, for joining me this morning.
Well, thank you, Al. I'm honored to be one of your featured members. So
absolutely. Well, and Mo, you've supported our association for literally for decades. And so we wanted to learn a little bit more about you. So tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up, and how you got into the industry, and specifically, ultimately, to Arch Mortgage Insurance.
Oh, well, great. Well, I grew up in South Bend, Indiana. I come from a very large family in today's world. I am one of 8. I am number 4. My mom and dad are Fred and Rosemary Crow. So I was Mo Crow for 23 years. And after high school, I went down to Indiana University and got a bachelor's in education and a business minor. Right after school, after college, I got married to my high school sweetheart, Kevin Bauer, and we moved out to Colorado. Kevin is a year older than I am, and he had already started working at that time, and he was in Denver. And so I moved out there, and at that time, it was very difficult to find a teaching job. And so while I was trying to find a job in teaching, I decided to go back in school and finish up my business degree. And while I was doing that, I was working at a bank in the mortgage department. So I really learned the back end of mortgage lending and servicing. I was there for probably about 3 years, and then I started originating for the bank, and I did that for about 3 years. And then Kevin and I decided we wanted to get back closer to home. So we moved from Denver to Indianapolis. Kevin took a position at Pricewaterhouse. He's a CPA. And I took an origination job at First National Bank, which is now BMO Harris. I was located at the 86th and Michigan branch. And that was a very, very busy time in the mortgage lending area because the rates were dropping, people were refinancing. So I was really busy and really enjoyed my job. And David Miller worked for United Guarantee, and I was a customer of his. And so David would come in probably quarterly, and we'd visit, we'd go to lunch. We really enjoyed each other's company. And one lunch, he asked me if I would consider interviewing for a position that he had as his sales rep. And believe it or not, I turned him down the first time. He then hired a woman that was an underwriter, and I don't think she really enjoyed the job at all. I don't think she really liked sales. So 8 months later, he came knocking at my door again, and this time I said yes. He pulled out the big guns and had his boss all over me and everybody else, and I ended up taking the position. And I've never regretted that. So it's been 32 years in the mortgage insurance business. I was United Guarantee all the way up till 5 years ago when Arch and United Guarantee came together. Okay. So that's basically.
That's 32 years in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, 32 years in a nutshell. Good way of saying it.
Well, like many of us, I'm sure you had some mentors in your career, and tell us a little bit about a couple of mentors you might have had, and then just as importantly, what was some of the most important advice that you received?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have 2 mentors, and the first one would be my father, who, was a very successful businessman and also was a fabulous father. Of 8 children and a wonderful husband, and that's not easy to do. My other mentor would be David Miller, who many of you know, and the reason he is such a mentor to me is that he really taught me the sales process and really how to run a successful territory. And I would have to say that something that David taught me that has always stuck with me is to work hard, okay? But most importantly, work smart. And I always keep that in the back of my head when I am running Indiana. I have to be efficient. There's just one person doing this, and I've got to be smart about it. And I'll never forget David saying that to me, and it's always stuck with me because you have to implement it. It's too hard not to work smart when you've got the whole state. And so that's what I would have to say he's my mentor. David just was and still is a huge mentor. He's very successful. And he just taught me a lot of things that I still keep in mind and work on. So, and that's the one that really, sticks with me. Work hard, but most of all, work smart. And it's been my motto.
You go. Well, and a lot of us are spread thin, and if we try to do all the things at once, some of the most important things get buried and don't get responded to, don't get taken care of.
Right. I think it really helps me prioritize. That motto really helps me prioritize. And, because if I feel overwhelmed, I always think of that, like, what is the smartest thing I should be doing right now with my time? And it usually is the most important thing.
Okay. What do you enjoy most about your job?
Oh, that's easy. That would be my customers. After 32 years, my customers, many of them are very, very dear friends. I've seen them, their families grow. We've been through good times and bad times, but every day is different. And every day I get to get into my car and go see my friends. And that is what I would say I enjoy the most.
Good. And last but not least, the most important question here is, what are some of your favorite hobbies?
Well, my most recent hobby is to play pickleball. My brother got me into that, but oh boy, do I love it. And for many reasons. It's very social, and it's an easy game to learn, and all ages can play it. But overall, it would be exercising, and I do a lot of exercising with my girls. We do cycling and we do shred, and it's my way of spending time with the girls, and I can still do it. So that would be my hobby.
Very good. Well, Mo, thank you for your time this morning, and most importantly, thank you for your support of our industry in general and the Indiana Mortgage Bankers Association over the decades.
Well, Mortgage Bankers has been very, very good to me. I've learned so much and met so many great people. I'm glad to be a part of it.